In December 2011, the Caribbean island of St Barthélemy was the balmy departure port for 8 Open 60 solo racing sailors preparing for the Transat BtoB. A single-handed 3,300-mile hike across the Atlantic back to Brittany, France. British yachtsman Mike Golding was using the race to gain some solo miles in his revamped Gamesa. This will be his first solo ocean crossing since finishing the Vendée Globe in 2009, and his last before he sets off to try and win the Vendée this coming winter at his 4th attempt. The mild climate of the Caribbean in December offers a relaxed first few days for the sailors, but as they set their course for the Northern Hemisphere, heading towards midwinter, the weather was not forecast to be forgiving for long.
It's the beginning of day 3. Had a pretty wild night. It's been pretty tough going. The race so far, a bit of a shock to the system. Strange feeling being back on the boat on that. Everything seems to work well, but everything seems pretty hard work. So everything, there's a lot of quite heavy gear on the boat. Sometimes the mind is willing, but the body just isn't. So I just have to take my time and take it steady.
As the wind increases over the next few days, the front boats stretch their leads. François Gabard and his boat Massif leads the pack, and Armel Cléache is second on board Banque Populaire. By day 7, the fleet were well into the colder northern reaches of the course. Life on board was becoming increasingly less comfortable and more difficult. And forecasts predicted severe gale-force winds and huge seas towards the finish line. So much so that the race committee decided to take action, imposing a safety gate to keep the fleet south of the worst of the storm.
We're now sailing towards the newly imposed safety gate, 42 north, 20 east, and the race is a bit of a procession because we're all just high-speed sailing, so there's not much we can do tactically.
As the storm takes hold, sailing conditions soon become treacherous, with over 60 knots of wind in the worst areas in the Bay of Biscay. After discussions with the sailors, the race organisers agreed that the only course of action was to finish the race early.
I have seldom, if ever, seen a storm with such consistently high wind speeds over such a vast area of ocean. There was no escaping it. None of the boats were going to escape it. Everyone was going to have to cross it.
I'm in the middle of the ocean and my finish line is just here and I'm about to cross. They've shortened the race because the weather is so severe, and as soon as I've crossed this line I'm going to sort of adopt a slightly more conservative approach.
Once I passed the finish line, we were in the clutches of the storm really, and at that point there were probably 12 to 15 metre waves. The feel of it was very Southern Ocean and very serious indeed. The boats were going very fast, very easily, and then crashing into the next wave. It was real boat-breaking conditions if you went too fast.
After several days at sea, Mike made a welcome return to the calmer shores of Plymouth. A chance to reflect on the race and on his year with Gamesa.
Coming on the boat solo for the first time, it was a bit of a shock, getting used to the strain of operating a boat of this size again, solo. It's very, very physical. I'm not as young as I used to be, but I got into it and we were competitive in the race, which was a really positive feeling. It's been an amazing year. It has been hectic and it has been a roller coaster, but overall it's been a fantastic success. Roll on 2012 in the Vendée, that's what I say.